It's the third and final day of the World Economic Forum Africa meeting here in Kigali. A lot of discussion over the last little while about capital markets, about economic policy, but also about implementation. Paul Clark from Ashburton is back with me. Paul, good day to you once again. A lot of conversations about implementation and that word urgency.
Yes, Stephen, I think urgency. What we've heard a lot is a lot of people with lots of good ideas, a lot of new innovations, and what we really don't need is for government to stand in their way. And so they should be able to run ahead with their projects. But also, in serious sectors like energy or like telcos or like banking, we need to make sure that regulators keep up to speed with what's happening and are able to then enable the environment. And where they have done, it's working very well. So we saw in Kenya where the banking regulator was comfortable that a telco could start M-Pesa, which we all know about, but it has meant that East Africa, and because of their early adoption of technologies, is much more financially included than the rest of the continent. And then if you go to power, again, unfortunately a Kenyan example, but where they've got a very good system for allowing IPPs to get power purchase contracts in a clear and constructive way with KPLC, the Kenya Power and Lighting Company, which distributes the power. That has meant that they've brought on power, and from 3 years ago where they had a power shortage, today are able to even export power to Uganda and the region. So, it works if government gets on board quickly.
I suppose it's really impossible to implement policy urgently unless there's political will. Is there sometimes a lack of political will? Is that one of the lessons here? With political will comes results?
I think it depends from country to country. So it's going to be that there are some countries where we've seen more recently conflict around elections and further presidential terms and so on. So political will differs from place to place. Somewhere like Rwanda, we've seen massive strides from strong leadership, and that can happen anywhere, and that's what's needed, but it's not going to be uniform across the continent.
Paul Clark from Ashburton, thank you once again.